Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. I'm gonna find you and tell you about the sequel to 2019's Ready or Not. When the sequel was announced, I was intrigued and curious to see if Radio Silence could hit the mark once again and be able to continue Grace's story. And I will say, that initial trailer for Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, it didn't make me feel confident that this movie would really hold up as the same way as the original movie did. But as I've learned lately to go with an open mind and not judge a book by its cover, aka a film by its trailer, I went ahead and I watched it with a clear, open mind. And I can say that Ready or Not 2, Here I Come is a solid sequel. It has its bumps along its runtime, but it manages to be solid and entertaining. The elements in the film that I enjoyed would be the cast/performances, the story, and the action. Starting with the cast, everybody pulls in a good performance. Samara Weaving nails it once again as Grace, while Catherine Newton adds in some flair as her sister Faith. Adding a family dynamic to the film gives their characters an extra layer of depth. That was one of the things I was worried about when they were introducing a sister that we didn't know anything about in the first film. That could easily ruin a sequel story of like, why didn't you mention this character before? Because in the first film, Grace mentions how she didn't have a family, she came from foster home, but we kind of learn a little bit more about this film, what happened with, why her sister was in her life again, why they abandoned each other, or one left and everything. So that was one of the concerns I was scared about when they were like, oh, she has a sister. But their dynamic was really good, and it actually gave the film an extra layer of depth that makes you root for them. The supporting cast also shine as well too. Elijah Wood, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Sean Hatosy adding in some fun performances as well, and just being generally entertaining. Secondly, the story was strong. One thing when it comes to sequels is the fact on how you're able to not only justify its existence, but able to stand toe-to-toe with the first film with it being a solid story. Luckily, Here I Come leans into the latter, making it an expanded version of the first film and adding into the in-universe lore definitely keeps it interesting. It helps keeps the audience wondering and invested for the entirety of the film's hour and 48-minute runtime. And lastly, the action is the highlight of the film. Like I mentioned in the story, the expanded setting allows for more creativity. This goes with the action as well. They were able to make some more unique and fun action set pieces. The country club setting provides much more open space for creativity than the house setting in the first film. We got a bunch of fun kills and hijinks throughout it, and I think probably my favorite kill would have to be the dryer kill in the beginning of the film. If you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, to the thing I'd say that hampers the film a bit is a combination of these two things. We're going to wrap it all in like one neat bow. It would be both the lack of character depth and the writing. Now, while Grace and Faith get their depths and arcs, everyone else doesn't, which I get is the point because we are not focusing on them. We're only focusing on the immediate characters, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sean Hatosy and their family, Grace and Faith. But still, it makes it feel like the writing is making everyone else either cartoonishly evil like Titus, who is the obvious unhinged evil character, or one-dimensional like Francesca, who is like the ex-fiance of Alex in the first film, and remind you every second on how Grace ruined her life by taking Alex. And that can lead to some funny moments, both unintentionally and intentionally, but there's a feeling that there could have been more fleshed out with some of the characters like they did in the first film. Like in the first film, like we got to learn a little bit about each family member, especially Alex's brother, who definitely had a good arc from, I'd have to say, more of like an interesting one, helping Grace out kind of escape from his family, which I think was honestly a really good way, because you don't have to do that. You can make it like, oh, everyone's all one-dimensional, but they gave each character depth. That really doesn't seem to be the case in Ready or Not 2. Overall, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come is a fun sequel. If you're a fan of the first film, you will enjoy the sequel. If you haven't seen the first film or you weren't really a fan, I'd say you can skip this film and not miss anything much, but it may be worth giving it one more shot. I'll be curious to see if a third film isn't that far off from the horizon. And I'm going to give Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, a final grade of a B. So let me know down in the comments below, did you watch Ready or Not 2? And what did you think of it? And what is your favorite Ready or Not movie, the first one or this one? Until next time, I've been Mac from Mac Movie Reviews, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
Hey, if you like this video, make sure you check out one of my other reviews on my channel, and stay tuned for the next one.